You wake up. Something feels wrong. It's not your habits, not your phone, not even your discipline. The real problem? Most of your decisions aren't actually yours. They're running on scripts installed long before you could question them. And once you notice them, you start seeing them everywhere. You reach for your phone before your eyes adjust to the light. The cold light of the screen reflects in your eyes as notifications pile up, buzzing softly like tiny alarms in the dark. Within 90 seconds, you've absorbed someone else's opinion, someone else's highlight reel, someone else's crisis. Somewhere in the back of your mind, an alarm goes off, just enough to make you uneasy. You ignore it. You scroll past it. That alarm has been ringing for years. It's not laziness or weakness. It's the unseen driver quietly guiding your behavior. Here's how it works. Your brain runs two systems. One is fast, automatic, emotional, System 1. The other thinks it's in charge, slow, analytical, System 2. But here's the kicker. System 2 doesn't lead, it follows. It writes a convincing story to justify choices your unconscious mind already made. You weren't in the driver's seat. You were reading the post-trip report of your own behavior. Think about it. You're in a conversation. One sentence hits a nerve. Before you realize it, your voice sharpens. The room goes tense. 10 minutes later, you wonder, why did I react that way? Or the purchase that felt rational in the moment, but days later leaves you confused. Or the relationship you stayed in, even though every part of you knew it was over. Not willpower failures, old automatic patterns running, and the logical part of your brain just arrived to explain them. Most of your foundational beliefs were installed before you could question them. The first 7 years of life, the critical period, are when your brain absorbs everything without a filter. What your parents modeled, what got rewarded or punished, what love looked like, what safety required. That raw input didn't just shape you, it became you. Imagine a child hearing the same messages over and over. Don't embarrass yourself. Watch what people think. Stay quiet. No trauma, no drama, just repeated corrections hundreds of times. Years later, that child sits in a meeting with a good idea and never raises their hand. Not because they lack intelligence or courage, but because a pre-installed script quietly says, stay quiet. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. If someone understood this psychological architecture better than you do, they could engineer your behavior. And that's exactly what happened. Social media companies didn't stumble upon your vulnerabilities. They hired psychologists, ran experiments on millions, and optimized every interface for time on platform. Your mind wasn't weak, it was understood. Your vulnerabilities weren't accidental. They are the business model. This manipulation isn't harmless. Over time, it physically changes how your brain works. Your brain is plastic. Hours of fast-moving, dopamine-spiking content, videos flashing past, notifications chiming, endless scrolling, reshape it. Complex thinking becomes harder. Your tolerance for depth shrinks. Your patience with challenge diminishes. A mind that can't think critically stays exactly where it is. It reacts. It consumes. It feels like it's choosing, but mostly it runs on autopilot. Beneath this, there's another layer, your perception filter. Your brain receives an overwhelming flood of information every second. Only a tiny fraction reaches awareness, and the filter isn't neutral. It's shaped by beliefs, emotions, and repeated patterns, which means reality isn't neutral. It's curated by subconscious programs you didn't consciously configure. Two people can walk into the same room, same opportunity, same job market, and experience it completely differently. One sees doors opening, sunlight streaming through, possibilities in motion. The other walks past, blind to every opportunity. It's not the environment, it's the filter running in their brain. And that alarm you feel each morning, it's not anxiety, it's accurate perception. The habits, the reactions, the internal routines you never consciously chose, they're all running. And now they've been handed tools engineered to make interruption harder. What you've been calling your personality,
Your tendencies, defaults, frustrations isn't fixed identity. It's accumulated programming running through an unseen driver. The people who saw this early didn't just feel better about themselves. They stopped fighting a version of themselves that never truly belonged to them. The map exists. You're holding it right now. And here's how you start rewriting it. Notice your triggers. When your chest tightens at a notification, pause. Question the autopilot. Ask yourself, am I reacting or following a pattern? Journal your reactions. Write the impulse you ignored or followed today. Small daily awareness. Even a 60-second check-in rewires the system. Awareness is step 1. Tomorrow, notice one pattern your mind runs on autopilot and question it. The real danger isn't that your mind can be programmed. It's that most people never realize it already was. Once you see the code, you can start rewriting it. But the question is, will you take the first step today or scroll past like every other alarm? Gen Z grew up native to that. Gen X rejected it. You did something more expensive. You complied, and then quietly wondered why it felt hollow. That hollowness isn't a personality flaw. It's a coherent response to being handed the wrong world right after you'd finally figured out how to live in the right one.